We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside, awakes. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, their love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. It all depends on how we look at things, and not how they are in themselves. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol or morphine or idealism. The pendulum of the mind alternates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. We are born at a given moment, in a given place, and, like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and of the season of which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything more. For a young person, it is almost a sin, or at least a danger, to be too preoccupied with himself. But for the aging person, it is a duty and a necessity to devote serious attention to himself. Who has fully realized that history is not contained in thick books, but lives in our very blood? Knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but upon error also. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Often the hands will solve a mystery that the intellect has struggled with in vain. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. There is no such thing as a pure introvert or extrovert. Such a person would be in the lunatic asylum. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. Man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. We should not pretend to understand the world only by the intellect. The judgment of the intellect is only part of the truth. The debt we owe to the play of imagination is incalculable. Show me a sane man, and I will cure him for you. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. Dreams are the guiding words of the soul. Why should I henceforth not love my dreams, and not make their riddling images into objects of my daily consideration? Follow that will and that way which experience confirms to be your own. We deem those happy who from the experience of life have learnt to bear its ills without being overcome by them. Man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. Masses are always breeding grounds of psychic epidemics. Resistance to the organized mass can be effected only by the man who is as well organized in his individuality as the mass itself.